What's up, everyone? We are here to talk about today's Academy Award nominations. The Shape of Water led the race with 13 nominations. Now, there are a lot of notable snubs and surprises, though. Shape of Water, it's a fantasy film, among many things. So, little geek-friendly love from the Academy this year. But, surprisingly, at least for us, big lovers of the film, nothing above the line, really, for Blade Runner 2049. Now, we love this movie, Laura, here at IGN. Were you surprised that Blade Runner 2049 was snubbed? No Best Picture nomination?
No Best Picture. In some ways, yes, but in some ways, no, because it felt like one of those films that was kind of bubbling under the radar. It never really set fire at the kind of box office.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure.
Definitely tanked when we all expected it to, I think at least get a little bit more respect.
Yeah.
So it feels like maybe voters just didn't watch it.
Yeah, I have a feeling. Look, the Academy, they've changed up their ranks a little bit, but I still think their pattern of behavior is the same, which is if it looks really geeky, they're probably either not going to watch it or they're not going to vote for it. I hate to say it, like, well, but Return of the King. Yeah, there have been
Lord of the Rings doesn't count.
Yeah, Dark Knight got snubbed, everything. So I do feel like Shape of Water basically got the one allowed geek slot this year.
There can only be one. It's like Highlander.
Evidently, it seems that way. But we're big fans of Guillermo. I liked the movie. I reviewed it, gave it a big thumbs up. So happy that Shape of Water got nominated, but Blade Runner 2049 really did get kind of overlooked in a lot of key ways. I do hope that Roger Deakins, who did get nominated for Best Cinematography, finally wins. Guy's like
he's very
the best
overdue.
Cinematographer ever.
Yeah,
like,
I can't even think of how many nominations he's had, and never gotten
maybe
it.
not the best ever, but he's up there.
he's up there, guys.
Some other notable geek-friendly movies that we thought maybe would get a little more love, but Logan pretty much overlooked, except for
adapted screenplay.
Yep, with Scott Frank and James Mangold. So fingers crossed for them, but a little disappointed. Nothing for Patrick Stewart.
I know Patrick Stewart's performance was the best.
But he also, like, he had been, he's gotten a few other nominations, and there were a lot of critics groups that kind of singled him out. So I was hoping that there could at least be something for him maybe in there. I do wonder if Logan, if it had come out a little later in the year, maybe it would have gotten a little bit more attention and a little more kind of consideration in these.
I feel like the bias is just there regardless. I feel like for things like Logan, things like Wonder Woman, the same as Dark Knight back in the day, if it's got that genre bent to it, because at least Shape of Water, it's classier, It's not a comic book movie. It's not kind of based on that existing property.
There is a guy in a rubber suit.
There is a guy in a rubber suit.
Come on.
But I think that it kind of has that lyrical, poetic quality that kind of seems to elevate it in the eyes of voters. Whereas, something that's it's based on a comic book movie.
Which is a shame because look, Mad Max Fury Road did very well with Oscar voters. And so I think maybe people were hoping it would be another year like that, where there would be some geek-friendly kind of titles, more than one breaking through. But
especially when there are slots for 10.
Yeah.
We got 9.
And we only got 9 Best Picture nominations.
Something could have gotten in there.
Yeah. Well, you know what else? I know that you're very upset about one particular snub. Do you want to talk about that film?
Lego Batman movie, guys. My favorite Batman movie of all time, I would say. Probably like the best encapsulation of Batman, to my mind, on the big screen.
No Best Animated for that.
No Best Animated. I mean, I think we all agree that it's going to be Coco's year regardless, but it would have been nice.
What,
I mean,
nothing for Boss Baby or Ferdinand, who both got nominated? They can't win? No?
Boss Baby versus Lego Batman. I'm just saying. Saying.
There's a lot of injustice out there. I like your line, though. No justice for Batman.
No justice for Lego Batman. No. Justice.
Wonder Woman, though, also, I always thought it was a long shot. It's a good movie, but when an entire third of the movie, that last act, is the thing that people seem to have problems with, that's a lot to overlook in terms of like trying to get that movie into a more serious conversation.
Yes, it certainly wasn't going to win Best Visual Effects. We can safely say that, but
but a little
nothing
surprise.
for Patty Jenkins.
Well, I mean, it's been a hell of a year, though, in terms of some of the surprises of like Phantom Thread. Kind of, I thought that movie's chances were kind of done. I thought the conversation had changed on it, but it did seem it has actually gotten a lot more Oscar attention than I thought, including for, I believe, Best Director for Paul Thomas Anderson. And, you know, and Daniel Day-Lewis has got a real shot at maybe upsetting Gary Oldman's apple cart here. Everyone thinks, you know, Mr. Churchill, it's his to lose.
Yeah.
But, you know,
well, if it is Daniel Day-Lewis's last film, as he maintains currently, then, you know, it might be a moment to give him a last hurrah send-off. But, yeah, I feel like Gary Oldman's kind of a lock for that at this point.
So, okay, on the geek scorecard here, Logan seems to have been the only one that kind of Blade Runner 2049, Wonder Woman, and Logan are the three that kind of, I thought we were kind of rooting for them to try and get something. So really, there were 5 nominations for Blade Runner 2049, but
nothing
mostly
above the line, technical kind of categories.
Logan, 1 above the line, but Shape of Water, 13 nominations. So that it's weird to say. It's like it was a mixed bag year then for genre films at Oscar nominations. But Shape of Water probably going to win Best Picture. I mean,
I would love it to.
It won Producers Guild, and I believe it won at I feel like the Golden Globes were already 3 months ago, and it was only last week.
It feels like I've aged so many years since then.
But were there any other notable kind of surprises or snubs that you thought that you were like, wait a second, people?
Wait a second. Michael Stuhlbarg, I think, who was in 3 of the best. He was in Shape of Water, he was in The Post, and he was in Call Me By Your Name. Kind of the scene stealer in all 3, but especially in Call Me By Your Name. He's kind of the emotional linchpin of a very pivotal scene in that. And I don't know whether him being in all 3 of them kind of cancelled him out. People didn't know which to nominate him for, but it seems like the Best Supporting Actor category in particular, kind of 2 nominations for 3 billboards outside of Ebbing. None for Call Me By Your Name, either Michael Stuhlbarg or Armie Hammer. Seems
maybe
like
a lot of Oscar
snub
voters read that BuzzFeed piece on Armie. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. There's something.
You know, Big Sick got overlooked too. Martin McDonagh, director of 3 billboards, got pretty notable snub. James Franco, disaster artist, nothing there. A lot of reasons why that could have happened.
But I liked that movie. I was a big fan of The Disaster Artist as a whole. So it seemed like it had a lot of heat going in.
I mean, Get Out. Look, Get Out has done very well. Jordan Peele nomination, and that was a movie that came out much earlier in the year. So I'm very happy to see that movie has stayed in the conversation, and it still has a legit shot. You know. But I think right now it really is kind of Shape of Waters to lose. You know? Well, that's what we thought of this year's surprises and snubs at the Oscar nominations. Let us know what you were surprised by in the comments below. Check out our reviews for The Shape of Water and Blade Runner 2049. And as always, be sure to follow and subscribe wherever you like to watch IGN.